Securing Spring Boot API with API key and secret. This follows the same teaching style as your earlier Spring Boot topic. Introduction. When building REST APIs in Spring Boot, you often need to protect endpoints from unauthorized access. One simple and commonly used approach is API key plus secret authentication. This is widely used in internal services, third-party integrations, microservices, communication, lightweight security scenarios. Example: X API key, my key. X API secret, my secret. This topic helps learners understand what API key and secret authentication is, how it works, how to implement it in Spring Boot, how to secure endpoints, best practices. This is a practical and beginner-friendly security approach. What is API key plus secret authentication? It is a simple authentication method where client sends a key and secret, server validates them, request is allowed or rejected. In simple terms, client means sends credentials, means server verifies, means access granted denied. How it works. Example flow. Client means request with API key and secret, means server validates credentials, means if valid, means process request, means if invalid, means reject. 401. Why use API key plus secret? Useful when full authentication, OAuth JWT, is not needed, service-to-service communication, internal APIs, quick security layer limitations, not as secure as OAuth JWT, no user-level authentication, key leakage risk, no built-in expiration, basic implementation strategy. We will read API key and secret from headers, validate them, allow or reject request, integrate with Spring Security Filter. Step 1. Define API key and secret, application.properties, API security key, my key, API security secret, my secret. Step 2. Create filter, at component public class, API key off filter, extends once per request filter. At value, API.security.key, private string API key. At value, $security.secret, private string API secret. Override, protected void do filter internal, HTTP server request, HTTP server response, filter chain, throws servlet exception, IO exception. String key equals request.getHeader x API key. String secret equals request.getHeader x API secret. If API key.equals key and API secret.equals secret, filter chain.do filter request response. Else, response.setStatus, https servlet response.sc unauthorized, response.getWriter.write, unauthorized. Example concept. Request means filter checks headers, means validates, means continues, or blocks. Step 3. Configure security. At bean public security filter chain, HTTP security HTTP throws exception. HTTP CSRF, disable. Authorize HTTP requests, auth, any request authenticated. Add filter before, API key off filter, username password authentication filter class. Return http.build. Filter added means runs before authentication, means validates API key. Step 4. Test request get, API data, X API key, my key, X API secret, my secret. Success response, 200 OK. Failure response, 401 unauthorized. Optional enhancements, restrict only certain endpoints. Request matchers, X public / permit all. Request matchers, X secure / authenticated. Skip filter for public APIs, if. Request.getRequest URI starts with public, if. Filter chain do filter, request, response, return. Use base64 encoding, optional. String encoded equals base64.getEncoder.encode to string key secret. Avoid hard coding. Use environment variables. Use secrets manager. AWS, Azure. Example using environment variables. API security key equals my key. API security secret equals my secret. Best practices include never hard code secrets in code. Use HTTPS. Always rotate API keys regularly. Limit access by IP if possible. Log failed attempts. Avoid exposing keys in front end. Example, concept. Secure storage plus validation means safer API. Common mistakes. 1. Hard-coding keys. Security risk. 2. Not using HTTPS. Headers can be intercepted. 3. Logging secrets. Never log API secrets. 4. Not validating null values. API key dot equals key may throw NPE. Fix. API key equals null and API key equals key. 5. Applying filter to all endpoints unnecessarily. Use selective protection. Advantages. Simple to implement. Lightweight. No session required. Good for internal APIs. Easy integration. Challenges. Key management. Lack of user identity. Security limitations. Manual rotation needed. Concepts learned in this topic. What? API key and secret authentication is. What? How it works. How to implement filter. What? How to secure endpoints. What? Best practices. Simple definition. API key plus secret security. A method of securing APIs by validating a client-provided key and secret in request headers. Final summary. To secure Spring Boot API with API key and secret. Yes, create filter to validate headers. Add filter to security chain. Store credentials securely. Use HTTPS. Example, if API key equals key and API secret equals secret. Key idea. Simple header-based authentication can secure APIs for internal or lightweight use cases.